Welcome back to the channel, guys. As you can see, we've got two watches here on the table. This is the RZE from last year. This is the brand new RZE 2022. Now, I reviewed this watch last year, really cool titanium field watch. They've basically made some upgrades. This is the new improved from the predecessor. It's not just skin deep, you can see the dial's different, but you can also notice that the texture of the actual titanium, this is brushed, it looks a lot more stainless steel, but even inside, new movement, thinner case, there's quite a few upgrades. So let's check these watches out. What I'll do, I'll review this and then I'll show you a comparison between the original where they've actually changed it. Now you saw the pop-up. This video is sponsored by RZE. They've promised me a production version of my color choice. However, they have no input into this review. I will tell you exactly what I think of these watches, or this particular one here, good, bad, indifferent, whether it's upgraded, downgraded, whether it's actually got pluses or minuses. So I'll tell you exactly what I see and what I find. So what we have is a case diameter. I measure exactly 40 millimeters. The case height comes in at 10.5 millimeters. The lug-to-lug distance is 46 mil exactly, and a lug width of 20 mil. Now the crown on this watch is a 7.2 millimeter signed crown. It's a screw down. It features 100 meters of water resistance, and the weight of the watch comes in at 93 grams, sized to my 18 centimeter wrist. As you can see on the wrist, the watch is sitting really nicely. Being a 40 millimeter watch, there's no overhang from that 46 mil lug-to-lug. That height coming in at 10.5 millimeters is fantastic. It's been a comfortable experience, especially at 93 grams. You really don't feel watches like this. You know, having a bracelet, the security of a bracelet, and being that light, they're a pleasure. That's the beauty of titanium. Now that bracelet seems to be the same as last year's. It's the same taper and everything, the H-link, screw pins. You've got a flip lock. Let me take this off the wrist. A mill clasp and a nice 4 micro adjustments. So it doesn't seem to have changed at all from the production version. However, the case finishing of the actual bracelet as well as the watch seems to have changed considerably. You notice this looks bead blasted. They've both got ultra hex coatings on them. They've both got the hardness coating, so they're very strong and tough against scratches. However, this particular version looks bead blasted as compared to this. This is a brushed finish, and it actually looks a lot more stainless steel, which is, to my eyes, visually a lot more appealing, and it makes the watch look a little bit more expensive, which is great. So I think as a case finishing, the upgrade is great. Well done. Now the movement of the watch has also been upgraded. This is now a Miyota 90S5 automatic. And if you notice, there's no date. So we'll unscrew that crown. It pops out, a single click, and it hacks that movement. We can adjust the time to wherever we want and lock it in, the movement starts. The hand winding experience is standard as you'd expect from a Miyota. The latch down experience, it latches first time, it's buttery smooth, it locks in, you got 100 meters of water resistance. So the exact same specs as far as water resistance from the previous version. Now looking up closer at this dial, as you can see, this is another hero of this watch. They've upgraded the dial. You can see the indices. They've got Arabics now, an inverted triangle at the 12. Really well pronounced, really good legibility, and the lume on this is Swiss Superluminova, and it's outstanding. If you look at the lume shot, you can see that everything is even, it's bright, it's legible. It has been such an easy experience reading the time on this watch, day or night. So that's been a real big plus from the previous version. And the previous version's lume is exceptional as well. The only difference, I think, by adding Arabics, it just gives you a gauge, a much quicker gauge when it comes to reading the time. Although the watch is on its bracelet, it also does come, I'll show you guys, with a nice strap. As you can see, it's reinforced, it's stitching, really nice and tough. I've not bothered putting it on this. Personally, I think it matches really well. I've not bothered putting it on this because I found that the comfort on the titanium bracelet has been superb. And the same with this. I've been wearing this exactly as you see. So I just think that as titanium watches, they're lightweight, they're robust, they're tough. Having the ultra hex is just a major bonus on these units. Now if we look at the sapphire crystal on this watch, it's a flat sapphire as the original. It's got super anti-reflective coating on the underside, and again, it seems to be exactly the same. I don't think they've changed it. They really didn't need to change it. The quality of the original was good, and I think this is doing just as good a job. Another change, another observation that I've noticed on this dial is that handset. The handset on the new watch, as you can see, is highly polished. It seems to have elevated the watch's quality look. The original was brushed. So, you know, 6 of one, half dozen the other. This is a little bit more toolish. It hasn't lost its toolish look, but it's added just that little bit of elevation in the watch's quality. It just looks like a more quality watch, which is nice. Now you've noticed the colorway here. I've got the Arctic Grey. This is the grey. They're going to have different colorways. I think 5 colors: the forest green, a C3 white, a medallion yellow, and a candy pink. So really looking forward to seeing those colorways. You know, candy pink, something different, which is pretty cool. So the watch is going to come in at $479 US. I'll give you the links in the description on their website. But with all watches, there's positives, there's negatives, there's pluses, minuses. I'll tell you what I think of this watch. For me personally, adding the Arabics has been a great addition, but I think the negative, there's a lot of space. For me, I'm looking at that dial and there's a lot of negative space. With this particular one, they've basically hidden the negative space with a Fume dial. You can see the black graduation all the way down to blue. It makes your eye sort of focus into it. It looks like a smaller dial. Whereas this one here, because of the fact that the Fume is very subtle, it just, maybe it's me, maybe because I'm so used to seeing the original that, you know, it might take a bit of getting used to seeing all that extra space. But in saying that, the legibility has been superb. The time reading experience on this has been absolutely superb. The case height, the profile of this watch is thinner. This is a 10.5mm case height. The original did come in at 11.4. So they've shaved almost a millimeter off, which is great. Not that this needed to. This actually sits really well on the wrist. This basically just sits a little bit better. Any other potential negatives? Look, honestly, no. I really like the original, and I spoke about that in the original review. I like this watch, the fact that it's robust. I like what they've done on this. I actually quite enjoyed, the first thing that caught my attention, apart from the Arabics, was that case, and I really like what they've done. By making it a stainless steel or brushed finish, it's changed the whole mood and dynamic of this watch. The bead blasted finish of this titanium does, I feel, it doesn't look as expensive. This looks like a more premium expensive watch, which is nice. The Miyota is great. I've had no issues. The smooth sweep has been really nice. The fact that it's got no date, I also enjoy. I'm not sure whether they're going to put a date. Check on their website. They might put a date version, not sure. But the fact that it's a no date with the 3 Arabics, really well balanced. Let me just pull this watch aside from here. I've got here the original, the Endeavour. As you can see, that's the medallion yellow. Pretty much, I'm very keen on looking at that color on that watch. You know, with the Arabics, I think it's just, these are fun watches, guys. These are fun watches. They're filled, they're tough, they're robust, they're dailies. I really like to see that. Also that pink, that candy pink. So there's a couple of different colors I'm keen to look at with this particular watch. Not a big fan of the gray. That's me. That's personal preference. Let me know your thoughts, guys, what you think of these watches. I've had nothing but good experience from RZE. Their watches have been tough, reliable, robust. Now that it's got a Miyota and it's a thinner profile, its finishing is a lot nicer. They still retain the toolish feel with those drilled lugs, as you can see. The screw pins on the actual bracelet are great. So I think they've really done well with this watch by maintaining the things that are good, they've kept. The things that they thought, well, they've listened to the clients themselves, the people who have purchased the watches, and said, look, why don't you change this or why don't you change that? So they've listened, they've done, love it. So personally, what would I like to see changed in a future model? Because I really like this watch. The only potential thing that I could probably say would be potentially a bigger bezel or a smaller dial. That's all. And again, I'm going back to that original negative, which I said that there's a lot of space in here, and I'm just trying to get used to it. Only because of the fact that I was used to a Fume dial, and that's not as pronounced, but who knows. That's the watch, guys. Let me know what you think. Is the RZE Resolute, the 2022 version. It's upgraded in quite a few areas, not just skin deep, but quite a good looker as well. So let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you all in the next video.